What's up, everybody? It's me, Melonie Mac here, and I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna vent a little bit today because I'm just kind of over a lot of things. So maybe I'll just vent a little bit. But I am ultimately this whole subject and this whole thing. That's on my mind and all that kind of stuff today is, and then of course how my life has been going the past couple weeks. I'm just so over it with woke people. I'm so sick of it. It's a joke. To me, it's a joke. And that's the thing is most people, and the internet is so deceptive because when you see social media, especially Twitter, there's a lot of woke people on there and you see them getting a lot of retweets and a lot of likes and stuff on their stuff. And so it leads us to believe, wow, okay, are most people like this? But then if you actually touch grass and meet real people, you'll find that there's actually not that many in real life because they have more important things to worry about. But the thing is I've been at the point, I got canceled. Like, I already talked a little bit about it on my last video, but I got canceled like freaking 2 weeks ago or something like that. And then it's just like, I feel like for the most part, people just sit there and wait and look at every single thing I ever tweet. And they try so hard to just completely misconstrue what I even said. And they try so hard to make it out that I'm just a terrible person who is just saying something absolutely awful. When it's like, what the heck, dude? I'm not even like that extreme for the most part. I would say possibly a little bit extreme when it comes to some conspiracy theories. So whatever, okay, call me crazy, call me a crackpot. I don't care. Like, I really don't care. People think I'm crazy because I believe some conspiracy theories. That's fine. But don't sit here and tell me I'm this and that and the other and a terrible person because of some very common normal opinions I have about things that aren't necessarily woke. I feel like normal people, for the most part, most normal people are pretty practical and they don't find offense in absolutely every little thing. But unfortunately, the woke crowd, and especially the thing with a big chunk of the woke crowd is that, and to me it's just wild, but a big chunk of the woke crowd are like white men and white women who want to be saviors. And so they're like, hold up. Whoa, everybody. Let me sit here and tell you what you're supposed to be offended about. And I see this a lot with these men, with a lot of white men too. They want to sit and tell me how I should feel oppressed and how I should feel like a victim because I'm a woman and blah, blah, blah. You see that a lot. It's stupid. Now, obviously, I ain't sitting here hating on white people. I think white people deserve just as much of a voice and an opinion on life in general as anybody else. You know what I mean? Can we stop demonizing people just because of their race? Please? Like, good grief. I can't believe I even have to say this. And I can't believe even saying this in the first place puts me on the chopping block. Because apparently that's like a really far-fetched and terrible and extremist opinion to have, is to say, oh, wait, white people are allowed to have opinions too. I know, right? Shocker. But yeah, I feel like people are just lying in wait at every little thing I say, and then they want to misconstrue my message and absolutely bend whatever it is I even said and try to make it sound like the most horrible, terrible thing ever. And they do that. They pick people who they don't like. I already have a target on my back because I don't follow the narrative anymore. Like, I've tried that. Like, I've been on their whole, I've been a little brainwashed by Twitter in general and thinking, oh, okay. And I talked about this in my last video. I'm not going to go over all that again. But I've been there where it's just like, okay, I've kind of sided with them because to me, I thought that they had good intentions. And then I realized that they're just a bunch of wolves in sheep's clothing. And they're actually some of the most bigoted, racist, and sexist people I've ever seen in my life are woke people. I just outright open with it, and they actually think they get woke points for it, and in some cases they do, and it's just like an approved narrative. They get no repercussions. They can just say these things and just be glorified, and it's like, wow, okay, interesting. But I'm just like, I just find it incredibly insane how everything is about our identity now. And it's just really making me fed up. I'm telling you, when I get interview requests or podcast requests, I haven't even done one in a while, because not even almost, every single time, just about every single time, I will get an email about appearing on a podcast or a video or whatever, something like that. It's always, we want to know your experience as a woman in the industry. I got invited to a convention to speak on a panel, and again, it's about being a woman in the industry. And I declined. I'm sick of it. It's like, why does absolutely every little thing you want me to talk about have to do with me being a woman? Why does that matter? I'm a human being. And it's like, okay, I'm proud of being a woman, but at the end of the day, like, why? Why is every little thing about me being a woman? I'm sick of it. Why does that have to be? I just want to be treated like a human being, like a normal person. And I'm so tired of all that. Of everything being based around me being a woman, or what ethnicities are you? This, that, and the other. And it's just, why? Why does that even matter? It's I just want to be treated like a normal person. Why is me being a woman or being white and native, what does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with me as being in the gaming industry and stuff? And it's just like, yeah, there's certain topics and there's certain things that need spoke up about when things happen and injustices do happen. But at the end of the day, like, I'm so tired of people expecting me to act like I'm a victim because I'm a woman, or to be treated like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, like, you've accomplished everything that you have even though you're a woman. Like, does that, like, how does that it's stupid. It's so stupid to me. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a human being, so it shouldn't be some big surprise. I mean, it is what it is. And also, like, I'm telling you, America is obsessed with being victims. America is obsessed with being victims and trying to be oppressed. Everybody wants to be oppressed so bad in America. I don't get it. Because when you really actually unpack everything, and yeah, okay, I'm not going to say this. There's some injustices that happen, okay? So before people want to bend all this out of proportion, I'm not lumping those injustices in with this. But I'm saying on your typical day-to-day, people want to act like victims all the time. Okay? I'm sick of it. It's stupid. You're American, you want to act like a victim all the freaking time. It's just like, come on now. You have the opportunity to do whatever you want in this country almost. Like, you know what I mean? There's... You really want to unpack the issues that are going on in the world right now. Let's look at Afghanistan with the Taliban and look at the Afghani people who are being oppressed and who are going through it, man. Can you imagine what it must feel like for, like, an Afghani woman to look at Twitter right now and to see women in America sit here and complain and talk about how oppressed they are because we're not in the top 50 viewed on Twitch? It's embarrassing. Like, it's flat out embarrassing. There's actually people in the world who are suffering because of what they look like. Okay? Me not being in the top 50 most viewed people on Twitch is not oppression, okay? It's stupid. It's stupid. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, well, when you really look at it, what about makeup? Like, if you want to look at the makeup industry, you know, you do have some people who are in there, some men who are in the top viewed, but for the most part, it is massively female dominated. It's just how it is. And so, yeah, in the gaming industry, it's massively male dominated. And let's be real, when it comes to gaming, and when it comes to streaming, okay, now people want to say, if you really break down the statistics and they want to say, oh, actually, there's more female gamers than male gamers or whatever. But that's because they're adding in mobile games and stuff like that into the mix. They're adding in your Candy Crush, like at your grandma place. You know what I mean? But if you really unpack AAA titles, you really unpack, like, you know, shooters and things like that, all kinds of stuff, MMOs even though there are, you know, there's still, the thing is like, women aren't these unicorns in gaming, okay? There are a lot of women gamers. However, the majority are male. Like, it's just how it is. Like, the gaming industry and as a whole, and consumers who are buying video games and who are buying console games, who are buying games on Steam and stuff like that. I mean, let's just really unpack it and let's look at the statistics of it. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I will absolutely concede if I am wrong on this. However, most of your people who are buying these games are male. It's just how it is. So this is mostly a male-dominated industry. And you look at demographics for people who are playing, your popular titles, and they are mostly, even if you're a woman like me, like I'm a woman and I play games, and like my demographics are 95% male. It's just how it is. Because the games that I play and stuff, most people who play them are male. It's just how it is. And if you look at, if it's something like Roblox or something like that, then yeah, maybe there's a lot higher of a female demographic. But I'm just saying. So if you really look at this whole scenario, the fact that women aren't being watched as much as men on Twitch, unless they're, doing hot tub streams and stuff. But the fact that women who are playing games aren't being viewed as much as men on Twitch is not a sexism issue. It's more so the fact that it's just like, okay, this is an industry that is, most consumers are male in it. And again, it's not that women are super rare in this field, but that's just how it is. And so, I don't know. I'm just tired of being told that I'm supposed to be a victim or I'm supposed to feel oppressed because of that. It's just like, no, I'm just being practical about the situation. This is what it is. And if you want more female representation in top streamers and stuff like that, well, then stop watching dudes and watch women. It's on you and it's on everybody else. But also, because I'm a woman, I'm not entitled to being in the top XYZ amount of viewer or viewed streamers because I'm a woman. I'm not entitled to anything because I'm a woman. I'm not. People prefer to watch dudes. That's fine. It's on them. If I were to tune in on a streamer, I'd probably rather watch women. It's just me. I enjoy watching female streamers more. I don't watch a whole lot of streamers because I stream, but if I weren't a streamer and I was just to watch people stream games, I'd be watching women. Like, that's just, I don't know, I just would. And that's just what I prefer to watch. And I can't shame anybody else for wanting to watch who they want to watch. That's who they want to watch. They're entertained by them, and for whatever reason, they gravitate toward them. There's some men, I know a lot of men who actually prefer watching female streamers over male streamers, and even beyond just the hot tub stuff. Like, general gamers and stuff like that. They just like watching women more. And so there are people out there who are like that. So it's not like some thing of like, oh, I'm not going to watch this streamer because she's a woman. People just gravitate toward their favorite streamers for whatever reason. And a lot of streamers right now, and the top streamers are male. Probably they're just more relatable to the dudes and maybe have more of the same humor and all that. Like, oh well, most people who watch Twitch in general are men. So for some reason, they're just relating more to these men. And so whatever it is, what it is. It's not some oppressive issue. It's just that's who they prefer to watch. And again, if you don't like it, then you support the people that you do want to be represented. You know what I mean? But anyway, I could go on. I'm going on a tangent just on Twitch. But I'm just saying, like, there's actual problems in the world. And there's actually people who don't have rights and stuff like that. And shouldn't we be focusing on those things? Shouldn't we be focusing on people having rights? Shouldn't we be focusing on all that? And shouldn't we be grateful for what we do have in this country when you compare it to a lot of what's going on in other places right now? And we should be keeping people who actually are oppressed right now in our prayers and in our thoughts and putting our attention on them instead of trying to act like we're victims. I'm sick of it. I'm like so over it. And it's just like, I don't know. That's that, I guess. I don't know what else to say really. But it's just to the point to where, who knows, man. Me posting this video might just be the most giant headache if people really latch onto that. Because like I said, people are just looking. They are looking for things to hate on me about. Especially ever since I posted about, ever since I left, like, not being woke anymore. And I saw the bullcrap behind it. And I saw the judgmentalness. And I saw the Karen attitudes behind it. And ever since I walked away from that, like, oh my gosh, people have just been looking at every little thing I say. There's been points where I'm just like, oh, well, I guess I'm just not going to post any opinions on the internet anymore unless it's super lighthearted. And I've done that for times because I'm just like over it. I don't want people to freaking be on my case all the time. It's exhausting and it's annoying. But I can't have an opinion on anything without being like absolutely attacked and have ripped apart and having my words being twisted. And it's stupid. Like, I made a post like I was talking on Twitter about different diversity and stuff in movies and TV shows and cartoons that we had in the 90s. And let's be real, I just feel like anybody who denies that we had diversity casted in all this stuff from the 90s and 2000s, I feel like they must be young and have never experienced that. Because it existed. This whole woke movement now didn't just introduce women and different ethnicities and backgrounds and stuff like that. They didn't introduce that. Now, I will say, however, when it comes to, different sexualities and gender identities and stuff like that, like, yeah, we're seeing more of that now than we used to, because I mean, there were a lot of issues back then. I mean, like, gay people didn't even have rights back in the day. So, yeah, there is a case for that. And I understand that. But when it comes to other things, like you want to act like some movie is like the first time we've ever seen a woman on screen or something, that's when I'm like, really? Are you serious? Are we just going to forget like aliens existed? Are we going to forget that Tomb Raider existed? Are we going to forget all this stuff? And here's the thing to me too, is whenever these movies use this kind of stuff for PR and they're like, whoa, by the way, guys, this is a woman power movie. We actually have women in this movie. It feels like the most pandering, stupid thing. It also feels like you're treating women like circus animals. Because it's just like, to me, it's just like saying, whoa, guess what, guys? We trained a bear to act in this movie. Can you believe it? Like, this bear, we trained it. And it's in the whole, like, it did an awesome job. Like, don't treat women and different people who aren't just white as if they're some circus animal. It's stupid to me. It's like, this should be seen as normal. It shouldn't be seen as some groundbreaking, never before done thing. First of all, because it has been done before. Not to say that there's anything wrong with more. And see, that's the thing, is I've said on Twitter, I was like, this isn't the first time that this stuff has happened. Like, we've had this. Like, I grew up with this, and that's one reason why I said it, because it's just like, dude, do you realize that this stuff wasn't some rare, like, whoa, no way thing? Back in the 90s, it was normal to have a diverse cast of characters. Look at the Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Like, that kind of stuff was normal, and they didn't say, whoa, by the way, guys, look at our cast. Notice how they're all different? It's like, they didn't have to say that, because human beings are human beings, man. This is normal, and it should be treated as such. And so, like, when I said that, then people want to sit here and act like, oh no, tokenism. And yeah, tokenism, there are plenty of instances of tokenism. But don't sit here and erase all the past representation that existed and act like it was all bad in tokenism. To me, that's freaking racist and sexist to do that. And and that's the thing, is when we say these things and when we say and we acknowledge the past that did incorporate these things, we're not saying that we don't want more representation now, because we do. But what we are saying is, like, stop acting like we're all, like, all these diversity and stuff is some, like, circus act and that it's all brand new, because it's not, you know? And yeah, I love to see more of it. Go ahead and celebrate it. That's great. But here's the thing, is I think it's safe to say that the high majority of us like to see diversity, and we like to experience through media different backgrounds and different stories. I mean, just look at a lot of us when we were kids in the 90s. Okay? I don't mean born in the 90s either, because apparently they're forgetting. People who are younger, they act like movies and television shows now are just doing these revolutionary things. But it's like, dude, this stuff's been done. And honestly, in some cases, like, and it was treated as normal. It wasn't treated like some circus act. Like, to me, that's better than trying to act like that. But anyway, like, I grew up, like, when I was a little kid, I remember thinking to myself, I was like, whoa, okay, every single Barbie I have is white. And I told my mom, can I have a black Barbie for my birthday? I like begged my mom for a black Barbie for my birthday, and she got me one. And I freaking loved her, and I was so happy. Because I didn't want every single media I consume to be white. Not that there's anything wrong with having white Barbies, but it was just like, it just was natural for me to want diversity. And this isn't just me being like, whoa, I was so woke. I feel like everybody's like that. Like, everybody loves to experience different cultures at different capacities. And that's how most people are. And when I look back and think of the media that I consumed and some of my favorite TV shows and movies and all that kind of stuff, it was like there was a bunch of diversity there. Okay, like, I grew up watching a ton of anime. I still watch a ton of anime, and I love it. It's like, and to me, it's just, and when I look at the different shows and stuff I watched, I like Jackie Chan movies. I liked, one of my very favorite TV shows ever when I was a kid was Sister Sister. Tia and Tamara Mowry were just, I loved them, and I just thought they were great. And I was like, well, I want to grow up and be cool like that. I just thought they were so cool. And I loved the show Martin growing up. And like, when I was a kid, I used to watch a ton of that. I watch Good Times on TV Land. I watch The Cosby Show. Obviously, Bill Cosby is terrible, but the show was great. And all kinds of stuff, man. You got Fresh Prince. You got freaking, like, all kinds. I remember even, like, Sanford and Son on TV Land. I used to watch a lot of TV Land. I like that as well. Proud Family. That's So Raven. Like, there's these things that I grew up with that these content. And, like, my favorite Disney princess was Jasmine. I was obsessed with her. You had Mulan, which was awesome. You had, like, all these different Pocahontas, all that kind of stuff. And it was like, you know, I'm white and native mixed, so I remember when I was a kid just being fascinated by it. Okay, Pocahontas, like, she's native too. But I don't have to have somebody that I can relate to, whatever capacity, to enjoy it and to appreciate it and admire it. And so I'm just looking at these past works that were amazing. And it's like, wow, this is, you know, I grew up just, like, thinking of it as normal, too. I didn't think, like, whoa, look at me right now. I'm watching this show, and it has a woman in it. It was normal. Because women are human beings. And all these, and people of different backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. Different ethnicities and all that kind of stuff. Like, shouldn't that be seen as normal? That's just how I feel about it. And for some reason, that is an extremely, apparently to the woke, that is a bad take for me. But to me, I find that trying to erase that and trying to act like none of that counts and none of it was good. I mean, freaking look at some of the heroes from 90s, man. We had Michael Jordan. Do you like every 90s kid, like, looked up to him. He was a hero to us, dude. Like, Christy Yamaguchi, she was, like, my hero when I was a kid. Like, I used to watch her do her ice skating and stuff, and I was like, wow, I want to be like her. I want to be cool like her. And it's just like, that was normal. That was normal back then. And to erase all of that and act like, oh, now only Marvel is just, Marvel and Disney are bringing it now with these new revolutionary things we've never seen before. It's not true. We have. So is it great that they're incorporating more diversity in their stuff? Yes. But don't treat it like it's some new thing and sit here and erase all the past and all the progress that we made and how much a lot of us grew up appreciating these things, these contents. And then you get, it just boggles my mind. To me, it's a common sense take. It's a common sense take, and it's a completely normal take to appreciate these media's forms. And to absolutely just completely try to erase them and act like all this stuff now is the only thing doing it is wrong. And to me, if you want to talk about tokenism, it feels like tokenism to me whenever a movie comes out with a diverse lead, and that's all they want to talk about in the movie. That's all, instead of just talking about it being a great movie and letting us appreciate the actors and stuff like that. And all you want to talk about is just their identity instead of who they are as people, instead of what they're accomplishing and all that kind of stuff. To me, like, that sounds pretty messed up. Like, that sounds like tokenism to me. If that's the only thing you're going to sit there and acknowledge is like that, you're going to make that your selling point. You're going to make that the big selling point. Like, that's the thing. Like I said before, all of us want diversity. All of us like diversity. All of us want to see it. But whenever you make it, whenever you're just like, that's the only selling point you focus on, and you act like that is just like the most important, like, only thing about that person, like, way to dehumanize people, man, to where you're only boiling it down to what we look like. It's so frustrating to me. And again, like I said, we all want more diversity and stuff in our content. We all want different stories. We all want to see movies and entertainment and stuff directed by different people and not just white pedos in Hollywood. If I'm being real. Yeah, we want to see that. Also, Hollywood sucks, okay? Stop basing everything it's worth around Hollywood. Hollywood's the worst, okay? Hollywood, again, okay, maybe I'm going to get conspiracy theorists here, but Hollywood is so freaking corrupt and has some of the worst people in all of existence in it. So can we stop glorifying Hollywood, please? All this pandering they're doing too, you think they care? You think they actually care? You think they care about women when they're making movies with women? You think they actually care about marginalized groups in general when they make movies with those? No, they don't. They're pandering. Whenever you see that all about their marketing, they're pandering because Hollywood's stupid. I mean, most foreign movies are so much better. And when you look at just anime, for example, anime is a million times better than almost anything Hollywood pushes out. Some of my favorite things I grew up with and things that I love now, anime and Godzilla movies. And okay, we got the Hollywood trilogy of Godzilla movies, which honestly were pretty good. Honestly, some of, especially Godzilla vs. Kong, really good. So, no shade there. However, the old school Godzilla movie, dude, amazing. Just freaking amazing. And here's another thing, and I've said it time and time again. I've constantly said this, is when it comes to even the American Godzilla movies, I don't want Godzilla to be Americanized. And so when you talk about those of us who, you want to act like those of us who are not on the woke train don't like diversity, I am pretty sure I speak for a huge chunk of people who aren't on the woke train who would much prefer to see Godzilla back in Japanese hands again. Okay? I don't like, we want to see Godzilla in Tokyo again. We want to see Godzilla, like, we want to see actual, like, Japanese actors. We want to see the movies being directed by Japanese directors. Like, they just do it better, in my opinion. They just do Godzilla so much better than Americans do. That's just how it is. So again, you know, for the millionth time, we like diversity and we want to see it. We just don't like to see it be treated like some circus act, or see it treated like it's the first time it's ever been done in history. You know, go ahead and improve on the problems that were in the past, you know, in terms of casts that were maybe a little more tokenized or whatever, because in some cases that definitely was a thing. So go ahead and improve on that. Great, that's awesome. But can we treat human beings like we're human beings and stop making, you know, stop all the pandering and stop all this stuff? Like, I don't know, I'm just over it. Stop trying to, that's the thing, is Marvel is trying to be saviors, okay? And almost everybody who wants to praise Marvel for it, especially these, like, okay, I'm not gonna be mean, but especially a certain demographic of woke people, usually white, want to act like saviors or want to treat Marvel like they're saviors. And it's stupid. It's just like they're absolutely playing you. They're playing you so hard. And you're falling for it. It's just stupid. Like, can we just have diversity and enjoy it, and as it is, and treat it like it's normal? Because the more you treat something like it's normal, Like, you know what I mean? The more abnormal you treat it, is the more, I guess, segregated everything is. I don't know. I could go on forever about this. I'm not gonna keep repeating myself. But anyway, that's my take. I'm just gonna go ahead and upload this, I guess, because I'm kind of ranting. Who knows? People probably gonna get mad at me because I do have white blood in my veins. I don't know if I'm native enough for some people. Let's just, that's the thing is, and that's the thing too, is talk about woke people are racist too. Cause like, I'll sit here and have opinions and they want to be like, okay, white woman. I'm like, dude, first of all, even if I was completely white, what does that matter? And second of all, I mean, that's racist in general. But second of all, I'm freaking native mix, and and then they want to be like, oh yeah, okay. I'm like, I'm freaking documented. Like, I don't know what else to tell you when like my family is documented native. Okay, but go ahead and tell me. Go ahead and tell me. Tell me what you want. Tell me to be what you want me to be. Okay, whatever. Freaking come on, dude. And talk about not having representation. There's like almost no representation for especially a white native mix. I mean, not even for natives. I mean, dude, we had, even when you look at any representation that natives have had, they would just completely get them erased. Like freaking Land O'Lakes butter. Apparently, like, don't even get me started on this because I'm going to rant for an hour. It's like, you go to, this was native designed by a native artist, and you're going to remove her? Like, what the heck, dude? Me growing up being native mixed, like, whenever I saw native representation, I thought it was cool. I was like, wow, okay. Like, Pocahontas, I remember just, oh, that's cool. Even though my favorite princess was Jasmine, because to me, my favorite character doesn't have to be like me for me to like them. But at any rate, I still did appreciate the representation. But still, it's like, there's so little native representation if you really want to break it down, and every time there is, it gets erased. It's like, we don't even have Land O'Lakes lady anymore. Like, rip dreams, dude. Like, and then you want to talk about the Washington football team. I can look at the other side of it and say, okay, because the name has to do with the skin color, okay, I can see. But for them to rename, like, they're working on renaming their team and they're not even going to pay homage to natives at all with it, to me, it's like, okay, there's something else getting erased about my native culture. Cool. That sucks. So, and for some reason they call that woke, when to me that's pretty racist in my opinion. But apparently a lot of woke people think that, would disagree with me on that. Plus maybe for them, because I'm part white as well, my opinion doesn't matter. Also, and when you really break it down too, there's almost no white and native representation. I mean, we have Connor on Assassin's Creed, and I want to say one of the infamous characters in the game, I can't remember, I think he was white and native mixed too. So it's like, I feel like nowadays people are scared to even make a native character at any capacity because, like, the woke people wanted to erase, because, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, apparently native representation is, native culture and stuff like that is just offensive to woke people for some reason, which is stupid. It's so stupid. And it's like, okay, you can have, like, I don't know, the biggest thing I can think of with the Land O'Lakes lady is because she's like a caricature, and it's like, what? So is traditional native apparel offensive? Shouldn't that be celebrated? Like, it's beautiful. I don't understand. And especially since it was created by a native artist, I'm just like, but okay, I'm just going to go on another tangent here. And again, people want to sit here and tell me my opinion doesn't count because I'm mixed, apparently. So whatever. I don't give a heck. And that's the thing too, is I don't like to use that. I don't like to lead with that. I will mention it whenever people want to sit here and tell me what I am. I will correct them, that I am mixed. However, I don't want everything to be about my identity. Like, I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of, my English, my Irish, both my native tribes. I'm proud of all that. And I'm proud of being a woman, but I don't want my whole identity to be based around that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? So that's why I don't really lead with that. That's why I don't have it in my bio on my Twitter. 'Cause there's, like, people should be able to take me seriously, or people should be able to appreciate me regardless of that. And at the end of the day, I'm a human being, and that's what matters. But anyway, I'm just gonna call it there, because like, dude, people are gonna, who knows, people are gonna have fun with this video maybe and misconstrue everything again. Who knows? I don't know. My YouTube tends to be a little more safe than my Twitter, because Twitter especially is filled with just so many woke saviors. I'm sick of it. So freaking sick of it. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. I love y'all. I'll see you later. Peace.